Alright, we're going to go over how to set up and use your Raspberry Pi base system. First thing you're going to want to do after unboxing everything is grab an HDMI cord and plug it and the power cord you received into the system. If you have a switch on the power cord, go ahead and flip that on. Your controller will come mapped, and if it's a wireless controller, it'll come paired as well. If your controller is wireless, do not plug it in before you turn the system on. Otherwise, you'll have to restart the system because it will think you want to use it wired. Alright, so when you reach the welcome screen, just press start on your controller. It'll blink a couple times, then vibrate and connect. Again, your controller will already be mapped, so if it is corded, just plug it in, and you guys can go ahead and skip ahead to the hotkey section. Otherwise, you can follow along to map and pair your controller. You will need to plug your controller into the system, then press and hold any button to start pairing. Press the matching button on your controller that you see on the screen until you reach the hotkey section. Hold down any button to skip the hotkey and then press OK. On the next screen, it will ask if you want to default your hotkey to the select key, hit yes, and then you're good to go. So next we'll be pairing your controller via Bluetooth. You will need at least one wired controller plugged in as a second controller in order to choose the wireless one from the options. So scroll to the RetroPie menu and choose Bluetooth. Next, hit register Bluetooth device and put your controller in pairing mode. After a couple minutes, you should see your controller appear on a list. Choose it and then choose any option on the next screen and your controller should connect. Now sometimes the system can have an issue where a small black box appears in the bottom left hand corner and you can't hit any other buttons. Just restart the system, do the process again. It should connect the second time, no problem. Now that you have your controller paired, you will need to map it again wirelessly. I know, super intuitive, not annoying at all. And after you map it a second time, you should be good to go. Alright, so we are ready to play some games. Go ahead and select a game to start. I'm going to use my boy Spyro to show you how to make some of these hotkeys work. So your three main hotkeys are going to be your save and load features, and then backing out of a game to the main menu. So I have a save already done. I'm going to press load and load right to it. And then by pressing LB and select and RB and select, I can trigger the save and load features. So it's super important to start a game beforehand and practice some of these features, just pressing them, using them so you can get comfortable with them. You get 3 save spots per game, so you need to get comfortable with using multiple save spots and not saving progress over your other loads. Alright, the last hotkey will be the start and select buttons, which will back you out to the main menu. Now obviously all of these hotkeys will change if you select a different hotkey button. So the select key is defaulted as ours. It'll be all those buttons and whatever your hotkey is instead of select. Now that we're backed out, we are going to save Spyro as a favorite by pressing Y. And I'm going to show you really quickly how to access your favorites and recently played games. I'm going to press start, go down to game collection settings, and we're going to turn on favorites and last played, and you will now see them with the rest of your games in this list. You just scroll through, see Spyro on both of these lists, and you can play it from here and obviously any other games that you add to your favorites. And last part here, I'm going to quickly go over how you can add games to the system. For this method, you will need to plug an Ethernet cord into your system or connect it to your Wi-Fi network, which will require you to get a keyboard so you can enter your password for your Wi-Fi. If you can't connect it to the Wi-Fi, no problem. There is an alternate method for you. You just need to message us, so I'm not going over it right now. So for right now, if you can't connect to the system to the Wi-Fi, once you do have it connected, restart the system, hop on a computer that is connected to the same network as the system, and you're going to find the folder that you have the game you want to add in it. Now you need to make sure the game is unzipped, and then copy it, and then we're going to go to the navigation bar at the top, and type // RetroPie and hit enter. And if your RetroPie and the computer are connected to the same network, it should bring up 4 folders. You're going to click the ROMs folder, and then I am adding a PlayStation game, so I'm going to go to the PSX folder. Obviously, if you're adding a different game, you need to add it to the proper folder. And I am going to paste it in. And after it finishes pasting in there, I will be able to restart my system, which I'll do now, and Spyro will be available to play. Or not Spyro, Silent Hill. That's it for the New User Guide. We will have an additional advanced guide up for those of you that want to dive a bit deeper than this, but thanks very much for being patient. I'm glad we finally got it up.